If you've been holding off on buying a home because the Dallas real estate market felt too fast, too competitive, or just too overwhelming, well, this spring market might finally bring the shift you've been waiting for. In this update, I'll break down what's happening in Dallas's most popular neighborhoods, including inventory levels, pricing trends, and what it all means for both buyers and sellers heading into summer. Let's start with closed sales. In April, there were 710 home sales that closed in the city of Dallas. That was up from 673 closed sales in March and down about 10% year over year. So essentially, the Dallas real estate market continued its typical upward trend for the spring market, but sales were still down from 2024. East Dallas had the highest volume of sales, which is typical for the area. However, sales were still off about 10% year over year. So while some areas like far North Dallas and Oak Cliff held stronger year over year, others like Lake Highlands and North Dallas saw sales decline. Now let's look at how inventory shifted across the Dallas real estate market last month. In April, there was 4.6 months of supply of single-family homes for sale in Dallas. That means that if no other homes were listed for sale, it would take 4.6 months to sell all of the homes that were on the market in April. Supply was up from 4.1 months in March and also up from 3.3 months in April of 2024. In April, the Dallas real estate market was trending toward a market more balanced between seller supply and buyer demand. So when we break things down by neighborhood, the trends, they get even more interesting. Oaklawn was the only neighborhood to see a drop in inventory year over year. Now, that being said, at 7.9 months, Oaklawn was still supply heavy and a buyer's market. All of the other Dallas neighborhoods added about a month's worth of inventory from March to April. Year over year, increases were quite large as well. So for example, in Northwest Dallas, inventory increased from 4.9 months in March to 5.8 months in April. Year over year, inventory in this part of Dallas was up 75%. So in my opinion, Northwest Dallas is trending toward a more balanced market. With 5.4 months of inventory, Oak Cliff and North Dallas were also trending toward balance between supply and demand. In East Dallas, inventory jumped from 3.7 months to 4.5 months in April. Year over year, inventory in this area has increased by 61%, but in April, East Dallas remained a seller's market. Far North Dallas and Lake Highlands both posted 3.7 months of supply in April. In my opinion, Far North Dallas is plugging along at a normal pace, but an 85% increase in year-over-year supply in Lake Highlands is a bit jarring. That being said, for the time being, Lake Highlands is still a seller's market. So on average, it took 42 days to sell a Dallas home in April. Now, I know that seems like a really long time for our market, but it is completely in line with days on market for the 10 years that preceded the pandemic. Despite there being more inventory on the market than we've seen in years, buyers still paid anywhere from 95 to 99% of the seller's original asking price in April. Once again, this is evidence that most sellers are not asking outrageous prices for their homes. Price appreciation started to moderate in 2024, and that has continued into 2025. In April, the average sale price for a single-family home in Dallas was $694,000, which was about 3% higher than in April of 2024. Neighborhood trends show even more variation in pricing and appreciation. In North Dallas, the average sale price has been holding around $1.8 million since October of last year, but in April, it finally pushed up to $1.9 million, which is a 2% increase over the average sale price in April of last year. The average sale price in Northwest Dallas has been holding around $1.3 million for the past year. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with sale prices in May and the rest of the summer, given the surge of inventory that came onto the market in Northwest Dallas in April. In Oaklawn, the average sale price has jumped around from $950,000 to $975,000 every month since August of last year. East Dallas continued its steady climb toward an average sale price of $800,000. The average sale price in this area has gone up every month since January of 2024. In Far North Dallas, the average sale price was up 3% year over year, but it's been holding in the range of $780,000 since August of last year. Lake Highlands looked a lot like East Dallas with an upward trend on the average sale price and above average appreciation. Now, inventory in Lake Highlands also increased substantially in April, so it'll be interesting to see how that impacts pricing as we move into summer. Oak Cliff saw the average sale price increase for the first time since October of 2024, and it remained the most affordable of all of the areas tracked in this report. So, what does all this mean for homeowners, buyers, and sellers in Dallas as we transition from spring and into summer market? Here are my key takeaways for home buyers. Number one, you have more choice and less pressure. Inventory levels are up across nearly every neighborhood, giving buyers more options and softening the pace of the market. Several areas like Northwest Dallas, North Dallas, and Oak Cliff are trending toward a balanced market. Number two, there is room to negotiate, but you have to be realistic. Homes are selling for 95 to 98% of the seller's original asking price, which means that while bidding wars may be cooling, sellers are pricing appropriately and deals still require competitive offers. Number three, patience, it's back. The average number of days to sell a home is now at 42, signaling a return to pre-pandemic norms. That means that buyers have a bit more time to make thoughtful decisions instead of being rushed. Now, here are my key takeaways for home sellers. Number one, price it right and it will sell. Despite the rise in inventory, homes are still selling near list price. So sellers who avoid overpricing continue to see solid results. Number two, neighborhood dynamics, they matter. East Dallas and Lake Highlands remain seller-friendly markets, but rapidly rising supply, especially in Lake Highlands, means that strategic pricing and marketing are essential as we head into summer market. And number three, timing is still on your side for now. April showed typical spring strength in the Dallas real estate market, but year-over-year sales are still down. So listing now before further supply dilutes demand could be advantageous for home sellers. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this update helpful, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future market insights. And if you have questions about your neighborhood or your next move, just drop a comment below or reach out to me directly. I'm always happy to help. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.